Carlton with Garlett, Yaron and Betts deep out of the goal square. Kaz Bolton, Wade, the key forwards. Looks like Robinson might do a defensive job on Nick Maxwell.
Huge game, matched by a huge roar, and we're underway. Opening bounce, Cruiser has to wait. Thumps it down towards half forward. Yaron comes off the line. Sinclair tackled by Yaron. Hand pass from Pendlebury. Gibbs head over the football, does well. Wait. Garlett runs towards goal and puts it through. He breaks his drought. Hasn't kicked a goal in 3 games. And Jeff Garlett, without Collingwood touching the footy, are on the board with the opening goal.
And Jeff Garlett, as we speak, is charging to the interchange bench after the game's been going about 30 seconds to bring Carazzo on. But as he hasn't scored a goal in 3 games, just how good would he be feeling, Tom, the fact that all of a sudden I'm on tonight?
Well, it was obviously, and a really good touch early there for Bryce Gibbs to get the ball out. Obviously premeditated to get Carazzo into the game as quick as possible. But I'll tell you what, Garlett couldn't have made any more of his 19 seconds on the field than do what he's done. So a really positive start, and it's been a good impact from Jeff Garlett to kick the game off.
Well, he had 20 disposals and kicked 3 goals against Collingwood in round 2. So he brought some good Collingwood form in as McLean out of the centre. He was the sub back then in round 2, McLean. Maxwell. And then Dwyer's kick down the line. So the fast start tonight to the Blues. Walker was clever by Walker. Found Judd in space, and then Judd kicked to full forward. Betts trying to slip Shaw. Shaw, well played. Robinson got over into the back of Maxwell. Dwyer again. Good-looking kick. Unable to keep his feet, though, was Wits. Henderson boundary throw-in. So picking himself up, the youngster.
Considering both sides have bolstered their defence, they've kept Henderson in defence, Carlton have, and Reeders in defence, of course, on Wait for Collingwood. So basically, both sides are really going to one big forward, Cloak and Wait for Carlton.
Well, that's what you call an unfortunate result. The 2 Collingwood players colliding there, pain all round. And the umpire will ball it up just forward of left centre wing for the Magpies. Carlton off to the flyer. Jeff Garlett with the goal. Hudson boots the ball, sends it down towards the 50. McGuinness playing his first game of the season, played 8 in his debut season last year. Was heralded as a key defender, gets another chance tonight. Jamison lays it off, Walker's running. Cruiser is running towards the wing. He's the guy for the football. Won't reach him, though. It bounces to side bottom. Cloak has it forward at the wing. Looks inside the forward 50. Sends it long. He'll direct it. Henderson really coming along nicely.
Well, it's close, kicking it high into the forward 50, and he's the one kicking it. Little chance Collingwood are going to mark it.
No one there. Hasn't Henderson been playing good footy for the past month?
For sure. Kick wanting Murphy. Spoil from Dwyer. Yaron belting on, almost as good as a kick, that one. Pendlebury and Betts go for the same ball, and then Wake gets in the road of Betts for the moment. McCaffrey slight fumble. Dwyer okay early. Handball a little bit errant. McGuinness just fumbling, getting down low. Thomas did well, actually stood up. Sinclair to Swan, and then that little kick half cut off, not quite fully by Walker. Swan gets a second crack, uses Cloak. Now can Cloak weave some magic here? Hooks to the front of the square, and a disappointing result. And it's that man again, Henderson, and that's a beautiful kick to Robinson. And the Blues look sharp. Carazzo.
High ball towards the wing. Not an easy one to mark. Garlett proved that. Seedsman coming off a career-high 34 last week to Swan, to Shaw at the interchange gates. In characteristic fashion, he takes off. Seedsman over the top. Dwyer busy early inside the forward 50. Beautiful pass. Well taken by Sidebottom. Seedsman, a question of accuracy, and he hasn't got it. Could have done better there.
I guess it's sharing the ball, but he's going to have a 45-metre set shot, side bottom, and he flicks the ball boundary side to Seedsman, who's still going to have a even more difficult shot.
Didn't quite get to Lucas. Murphy, Simpson, and Simpson on the left. And Wait should... Oh, no, went too tall for him. Wait just misjudged. That's a bad result. Williams did well. Wait put the tackle on and a free kick. So I'm guessing against Wait down the ground, is it? So not good play by Wait because it was in Simpson's hands. And he was beaten for the ball earlier by Williams. So Popping up McCaffrey, side bottom, doesn't get a great bounce. Does well though, and he'll kick a goal. No, he won't. Gee, that's a big miss. Should have got that.
Well, the two midfield matchups that Mick Malthouse has gone with, and here's the downfield free kick for a sling. Yeah, held him too long there, but Curno's gone to side bottom. Side bottom's trying to take him deep forward to expose him that way. And the big job of the night is Keisha on Pendlebury.
McGuinness has started well. Sends it along the boundary line. In fact, I think across the boundary line. And Young will take the ball. Clinton Young. Played in the premiership with the Hawks. Dogged by injury so far this season. Great to see him back. Left footer. Uses the ball generally very well. And talking about that premiership, a star in the first half until he was injured. Takes off on that left peg. 55 metres out. Telling kick. What a beauty. It's cleared the pack. Not quite. Henderson again. Gets back. He's been stellar back there in the opening minutes. Powerful fist on it. Said something. Made a statement. Concedes a behind.
Do you reckon Collingwood would be saying that's one of the reasons we recruited Young? That was a magnificent kick, wasn't it? As Dennis said, he was so good in that 08 grand final. Played in the losing one last year. Judd, well done. Cruiser, and then sort of torpedoes it effectively to Casbolt. He wanted to give it off. She Judd up and about early, and that's a good kick by Judd to give Gibbs a run. Also Garlett. Garlett, well, the drought's broken once. The drought's broken twice. It's raining goals for Jeffrey. It's a flood. Well, you just couldn't ask for a better start from Garlett. I mean, he's been desperately out of form, hasn't he?
Well, he has. He's been good. But I'll go back to the other end. Collingwood's problem is they're not marking the ball much in their forward 50, and they can't lock it in either. So when you run it out of their forward 50 and they came back through the midfield, that's when the Carlton forward speed really becomes a strength. When you've got an open forward line and you're going quick.
Well, the game's only been going for 7 minutes. Jeff Garlett's only been on for 2. And he's kicked 2 goals. He'd be feeling pretty good about himself right now. And very viable forward option.
Cruiser taps it down. McLean a half chance. Cracker goes after the footy. Went to ground. Swan at close quarters. Nothing doing there. Intended for ball. McLean again. Kicks inside the forward 50. Brown. Well done. Knocked away by the big guy. Casbolt hard against the boundary line. Pulls it back. Dangerous situation, although it slides too deep. Taken by Reid. Goes looking for Young. Gibbs in his hip pocket. Did brilliantly. As the ball arrived, nudged him off the line of it. Sends a long kick down towards full forward. They queue up. Thumped in front of the pack. Rolls reversed here. Shaw goes to the boundary. Betts runs him down. Boundary throw in.
So, Lee, you reckon the ball getting out of that Collingwood forward line? You talked about it before the match.
Well, that's part of the problem. You either got to get it and kick a goal, or you got to lock it in a certain amount of time. And I think at the moment, just lately, Collingwood are not doing quite either.
Cruiser, McLean, he gets away too easily and gets the hook. Well, they're off to a flyer now, the Blues. It's official. One of Collingwood's problems too has been clearances. I mean, we know that the champion data tells us that they've been getting beaten in centre clearances this year. I mean, right now, you just feel like there's too much easy ball for Carlton.
Well, you've got the ruck situation for a start. When you got Cruiser playing against Hudson, I mean, Hudson's been a great journeyman ruckman, but, gee, at 34 years of age, Cruiser's just going to jump all over the top of him, and I suspect get quite a few really distinct, really destructive hit-outs.
To see the work there, and good body work there by Brock McLean and the broken tackle on Hudson, and already Carlton looking like having a clear dominance around the clearance situations.
Cruiser under the football. Judd grabs it, kicks it still inside the centre square. Well played a couple of times by Young. Garlett closed on him quickly. Thomas kicks inside the forward 50. Elliott couldn't complete the mark, left it behind. Simpson tackled by Ball. Here's Walker. McGuinness under pressure, gets the kick off, a high ball towards the wing. Seedsman drops back, takes the mark, wants to go. Robinson was overcommitted, sends it down towards half forward. Cloak can't take the mark, it goes out of bounds. Just thinking back, a sense of deja vu. Round 2, this was the same margin early in the game. I think Walker, from memory, footed the opening 3 goals for Carlton. But by quarter time, the Magpies led.
No, you're spot on. In fact, Walker's kicked 6 goals for the season. He got half of them in about 15 minutes.
Gee, I love that. Twice Cruiser's punched the ball. That is the ultimate dominance of a ruckman. When you got such free access, you just thump it forward, and he's going to take every opportunity to dominate that position, I reckon.
So it's Witts now against him, and there is Cruiser getting down low. Swan. So what a big job for Swan tonight, and also Pendlebury. Good smother there by side bottom on Cruiser. One back by Simpson, and Shaw's dropped it. That's unusual.
We're looking at the ruck matchups. Witts is a young fella. He's got a great endurance, and he has a considerable height advantage over Cruiser.
That's Yaron. Sorry, Yaron, just getting spoken in the hands of the trainer for a moment. He had a hard hit a moment ago, Tom. Sorry. So Lucas around the corner, wobbling forward. Belted away, came from Shaw, and then side bottom. Good kick. They should open up. Sinclair wanted to use Brown, and then takes the man on. Gets to Thomas.
This is Brown. Inside the centre square. Sinclair sold into trouble. Did well, losing his balance. Gave it back to Brown. Kick inside the forward 50. Missed by Cloak. Follows up though. Lays it off. Now a chance for Elliott to Young. Judd got him. Jamison, so resolute back there. Keisha. Down goes Robinson. Didn't mark it up the top seedsman. Ball wedged in there. And the umpire's called for it.
Here's the Yaron hit a moment ago. It's just winded him by the look.
Yeah, just got him in the right spot. Nothing untoward about that.
Now Lucas gets a crumb. Henderson blindsided. Didn't see McCaffrey coming. Was taken down. Lucas is over the football. Trying to wrench it away as Cracker. Was he trying? No, he wasn't trying hard enough.
Well, about 10 minutes into the game, that thought that Collingwood would come out with fire in their belly hasn't quite happened yet.
Oh.
Gee, that's a good mark though, Lee. I mean, great contested mark. So, ironically, Henderson got caught last week by McLinnan. Again there, he was like he was blinded by the lights. He really had to release the ball to Walker. And then Lucas had the free kick against him, but Collingwood were able to take advantage of it. Cloak didn't get a goal against the Blues last time they played. Only twice this year he hasn't scored a goal in a match.
But Elliott got his 5. That's the difference in that early game in the year.
But Cloak gets Collingwood's first goal, and they settle things down a bit. He's a powerful man. I mean, just look at him. I mean, the short back and sides. He looks more fierce than normal, doesn't he?
Very sticky hands. I mean, it looked an easy mark, but when you've got a player of the quality of Jamison breathing down your neck and you're able to take it like that. But it does, again, looks a very one-dimensional forward line for Collingwood at the moment. If Jamison, with a bit of help from Henderson, or Henderson with a bit of help from Jamison, could do the job on Cloak, I can't see any other real avenues towards goal.
He got the front position. He's so strong, Cloak, but I reckon he's got to do that 5 or 6 times tonight and kick his 5 or 6 goals because, geez, it looks one-dimensional in the forward line for Collingwood in the air.
So same number of scoring shots. It's 3 goals to 1-2. Pendlebury just held up and does well against Keisha. Belting forward. Blair, first time I think I've called him tonight. McLean's quick kick away. And a nice mark taken by Curnow. And then he was off. And now corralled. He kept his head pretty well, Curnow. And the hard running works for Keisha. An impressive Keisha, first-year player. He's the only first-year player for the Blues out there tonight. Walker conceding a lot of ground, but they're trying to set something up, and they look like they might. Jamison to Simpson.
Runs outside the defensive 50. This is Lucas. Just backward of the wing. Lobs it over the man on the mark. Carrazzo, good to see him back. Hard against the boundary line. Searching kick. McLean let it run on. Williams the first to arrive though. Dwyer with pace comes away. They pressured the kicker though. As a result, loose ball and a chance for Gibbs. Thomas goes into a player tackle. Gibbs wrestles after the football. And we'll get a ball up about 15 metres out from Carlton's attacking goal. They're going to the city end. Rucks go at it. Hudson stolen by Gibbs. Carranzo again in the thick of the action. McLean, Walker. We talked about his goals in round 2. Well, nothing forthcoming there. He's missed the dartboard.
Too easy there for Carlton. If it wasn't Walker, they had Eddie Betts as well. A couple of release players out the back of a stoppage in forward 50. The Collingwood defenders would need to be more aware of that.
I think from Carlton's point of view, it wasn't Eddie in the end because he's pretty good at those. But Walker so good this season as a sort of loose defender, running and breaking the line. He's had a terrific year. What a versatile player he is. I mean, he kicked over 50 goals a couple of years back. Might have been 3 now, but doing well. Belt by Casbolt and Jamison and the ball in. So just a kick and a half in it. You feel like Carlton are doing a little better than that, but 3 shots each. And we talked about the stakes. They're always high. These two teams haven't played one another in a final for 25 years. It's remarkable. 1988, that elimination final, but it always feels like a final when they play. Robinson belting the ball forward, getting a lot on it. Reid, Waite and Brown. Waite caught by Brown and Reid. They're a hard act. And the ball out.
Nice move by Waite. Took it and turned almost in the one motion. Casbolt knocks it down. In trouble, Lucas. Casbolt, hard man to bring down. Finds the footy a second time. Attracts the crowd. Down they go. Trickles out of there. Eventually, off the boot of Gibbs, it rolls out of bounds. Reid back in the team tonight. And Waite, the worse for wear.
He's proppy, isn't he?
Yeah.
Sit on it. Looks like a left knee there.
Doesn't look very good at all. Reaching over the top, Hudson. Stolen by Gibbs, lively. Kick comes from McLean, out of bounds on the foot.
Do you reckon Waite's going to have to come off here?
Yeah.
He can't move at the moment. In fact, he's going to be exposed here by the look of it, because Reid's able to get off him. And that kick's not good. Can Robinson get it out? Williams does well. Yaron worked it well to Robinson. Yaron may have thrown it, but Robinson getting the ball forward. Walker just, well, he possibly could have kept on his feet there and waited it for the bounce. Waite still trying to get off the ground here. Yaron, they've got the numbers, but into the back of Elliott, no free kick. Gibbs goes back, still the numbers. Yaron, back he goes to Simpson, and then Simpson trying to get through the maze. Gibbs up and about, he's having a good season. Out wide, Carazzo, does he use Curnow? He runs hard and just sits it up, no weight there. Casbolt, front spot, good mark. It was always going to be his.
He's really impressed as Jared Waite goes down for some immediate treatment. He looks, got to be said, it's going to be a big effort for him to come back off, and here's how we think it may have happened.
Just a knock on the knee there. I'm not sure what's the twist there. Yeah.
Bit of left ankle, I reckon, as well. He's in the tackle, but Casbolt has been fantastic in contested marks inside forward 50. This is the tough putt for him, but directly in front of goal, shouldn't have any problem with this.
No, he's been wayward in front of goals, but he is a good, strong mark. We know that he's 2 goals 4 from set shots, so surely this one. Yeah, so Carlton haven't missed so far. And you feel like Mickey Malthouse, he's had to work out who's our next best big forward. Now, you've had Hampson running through there, Rowe they tried a bit. It's always been Walker they've taken from that sort of secondary position. So I think he's working okay, don't you?
Yeah. The difference thing, he looks like Casbolt's like a forward who can play a bit of second ruck, whereas Hampson and Warnock, all those other players are ruckman. And even Cruiser, yeah, they're ruckmen who are going to be important tonight.
Let's get another good look at the injury here to Waite. Yeah, I'm more inclined to think it's the left ankle that gets caught up in all of that, with a little bit of left knee jarring as well. So if it is the ankle, perhaps strap it up and see how we go.
Yeah.
Margin out to 16 points. Cruiser taps it down. Carranza dives in. And that ball fails to come out.
Thanks, Andy.
Now, Garlett
1 metre, guys.
has
Thank you.
attracted Sinclair now. I'm sure he started on Shaw, so they've made a switch. Hudson, a throw. Obviously didn't get his right hand to the footy. He was pursuing the footy, which was on his left. Here's Judd. Chris Judd comes out wide. Curnow hasn't missed a game since round 4. Rookie listed. But he's making an impression. Goes back to centre half back, taken by Jamison. The run goes towards the outer side. Jamison needs to be precise, won't get there in time. Well, the last man in the queue took the mark. It's Lucas. He's away. Kicks inside the forward 50. Cruise off, uncontested. Cruiser is marked 40 metres out. About 15 metres in from the boundary line.
Lee, I just want to quickly go to the Dot. What about Waite? Dot Larkins.
Yeah, it looks like the left knee got caught in that tackle, Bruce. He couldn't put any weight through the left side. Hobble down. They're going to examine him. They've taken the strapping down. but he wasn't straightening at all the knee on the medial side. So we wait and see how he comes up. They're still looking at him, Bruce.
Hey, Doc, thanks very much. We know you work overtime on a Friday night for us. Thanks for that.
No worries, Bruce.
Matthew Cruiser then. What his strength, according to those figures at least. This kick belies those figures. It splits the middle. Carlton rolling.
Lee and Tom, I mean, Lee, you were going to say something. We had to get the Doc in, but Cruiser's man.
Well, only the fact that Hudson actually was the defender on both Casbolt. So I think clearly the Carlton ruckmen are going to try and get into the forward line and make Hudson play as a defender, and I think that will suit Carlton down to a T. It doesn't make a difference if you have 5 shots and kick 5 goals. The accuracy of conversion.
It was the effort on the wing there, but I think it was Clinton Young and McCaffrey just totally misread the play on the wing, which allowed Lucas to basically kick the ball in uncontested, and that's a good positive. And it will be a move for Cruiser to push forward and expose Hudson as a defender.
So since the cloak goal, it's 5 inside 50s to none for Carlton and 14 marks to none. So Judd getting that ball out again. Ball to Shaw. Neat looking kick, but Tui able to pick off McCaffrey. And then sort of worried out of it in the end was Thomas. And Carlton winning these little battles at the moment. That's clever by Lucas. Over to McLean, down the line. Murphy did well, kept his balance, and then torpedoes the ball. A good-looking kick to full forward. Betts and Shaw. Shaw under great pressure. Goes to ground. Ball coming out. Maxwell. Quick handball over the top. Back to Pendlebury. Back to Shaw. We want to be calling those names for Collingwood.
This is Williams. Short one. It's sure looking anything but right there. Back to Williams. Came from Ball. Bounces towards the wing. Charging in at Walker. Could have almost got a free kick. Nothing doing. Should have. Swan's away. Couple of bounces. Swan running it down towards half forward. Make it 3 bounces. 60 metres out. Pretty nothing sort of a kick. Just wanders inside the forward 50. Held out of the contest was Cloak fairly. Taken by Henderson. Tries to spiral it out. Up comes Elliott. Elliott, a star of their first meeting with 5 goals. Gives it across to Ball. Ball looking for Cracker. Cracker 35 metres out. How will it bounce? Well, it goes left and out of bounds.
The injury to Waite's significant for another reason now too, because Reid has actually gone forward from that key defensive post. So they're playing the 3 tools in their forward line at the moment, the Pies.
And see how that works for them. So that boundary throw, Witt's getting a crack goal. Well, that helps. That really helps. So I guess there's some discussion about, well, the boundary throw in, the ruckman were in the right spot. It became a nightmare for Carlton in the end because Witts was able to score a front-on goal without anyone really getting between him and the goals from a boundary throw-in. Most unusual. So that's a bonus for the Pies.
Well, it looks like that injury to Waite now is a night-ending injury. You see Armfield there in the middle of the screen. He's taken the vest off. He's preparing himself to come onto the ground. So it's a real loss for the Blues early in this game.
Still, they lead by 16. Cruiser timed his leap, knocked it down. Thomas has got it, immediately tied up, and we'll have a ball ump. So just over 5 minutes till quarter time. Terrific start by Carlton.
It's interesting that that's allowed Collingwood to put Reid into the forward line. It'll be interesting to see how this whole thing pans out now that that's been able to be done.
Cruiser decisively, but to the wrong guy.
Yeah, without Waite, who's your best big forward in Carlton's point of view, and now you've got a problem because Reid becomes a dangerous forward target.
Witts, number 15, got that last goal. Cruiser, though, gets a crumb here, floats it inside the forward 50. Robinson, well, he's built the mark. Betts is through, though. Loops it over the top to Lucas, open goal, and he gets it. Well, this defence is under pressure, and they're not coping all that well. The little fellas, that time Betts, earlier Garlett, causing some concerns.
And Cruiser at his best there, following up his work. getting the ball going forward, which is what he'll need to do to exert his dominance over a young ruckman in Wits. Now this is a good lesson here for Seedsman. Mitch Robinson is playing half forward, but for all intents and purposes, a defensive job on Seedsman. You just got the sense there that Seedsman took that for granted. He's got to actually attack the ball and make sure that Mitch Robinson's accountable. Just let him off too easily then.
So Carlton so clean here in this first quarter when they're going forward into that 50. 6 straight goals. Blair under pressure. Side bottom, ditto. Dwyer, ditto. Yaron put some pressure there on the Pies, and it was Young. And now Dwyer has worked hard. Well done, Henderson, because Cloak was bearing down. Intercept marks are becoming a real stat in AFL footy. This guy's going pretty well, isn't he?
He's doing as well as anyone in this last period of the season.
Cruiser, oh, that's a good mark. I know Shaw's a bit out heighted in terms of Cruiser, but it was still a very strong mark. So Tui, high, long kick to half forward. Of course, no weight. The last time we saw him at the MCG, kicked 7. Armfield on, Betts, yes.
Yeah.
Are they through? That's 50, surely. Well, isn't that what the 50's all about?
I reckon he was off.
Oh, do you? OK, you reckon it's holding the ball?
Yep.
OK. Kick across the ground and marked by McInnes.
Yeah, he saw it was one of the Collingwood players flashing by. We'll get a look at it here. I reckon he wanted to flick it on.
There's no doubt he wanted to play on.
Yeah.
I think the umpire called that a draw. He didn't call him to play on. Thought, oh, well, I'll give the defensive Collingwood player a little bit of leniency.
Yeah, he's definitely off.
I'm not interested. Okay.
So he hasn't kicked a goal, this youngster. He had a knee reconstruction after round 22 last year, so he's come back very quickly. 9-10 months in. Wow! First time a team's kicked 7 against Collingwood in the opening term this season. Gee, that's a big, big kick. Nothing wrong with his knee. That's a bonus off half-back if getting a goal there. And gee, Collingwood, well, they're 6s and 7s.
Mention this point that Carlton, they've been actually kicking a goal about every fourth time they've gone into their inside 50. Tonight it's every second. They're 15 insides for 7 goals. Accurate, admittedly, but their conversion's been magnificent.
It's a huge effort there
Here we go.
by McInnes. Nickname's Freddie, I think, and you see the response from the Carlton players. They're wrapped for him coming back off a knee reconstruction.
A little esprit de panic in defence too for Collingwood. Things aren't going too well down there. And they'll be tested again as Walker kicks it out wide. Leading the race is Garlett. Garlett has been hard to run down tonight. The hand pass not so good though. Sinclair. Williams pushes up to the wing, goes short. Cracker, runner alongside, ball under pressure. Reload free kick, is it? Well, he's suggesting he was taken high, but it seemed to affect the kick. Never mind. Well, easy for me to say. Reid goes down towards the pocket. The mark is taken by Swan. Well, maybe I'm misjudging that. We'll have another look in just a moment.
That's your line, yeah? That's your mark, yeah?
High tackle, but the downfield means it was after the kick, so that was the adjudication.
Dane Swan. Important kick, this one. They're down by 28. This one is coming back. Hits the post. 7 straight, plays 2-3. When they need some luck, they can't find it.
Looked a big chance in the run, didn't it? So Collingwood just unable to take their chances, and the Blues have taken all of theirs so far. They've never actually kicked 8 goals against Collingwood in the opening term, Carlton, ever. This is a long history between these two clubs. They've had 7 a few times, but never 8, and that's where they're sitting at the moment on 7 goals.
Both sides playing to form at the moment. Carlton certainly a more long-kicking contested mark side, but what Carlton have done exceptionally well is just deny Collingwood possessions, particularly in the marks. They've only had 8 for the quarter. Mick Malthouse would be wrapped with their defensive efforts across the midfield.
Blair fishing it out. Judge looked lively, had to give it away in a hurry. And now Dwyer, cracker, good handball. Dwyer brilliantly done, and a goal coming from Thomas or Elliott. Thomas gets the goal. They worked it well.
That was an amazingly jittery hand pass by Judd then. I thought he as soon as he was tackled, he just gave it away rather than you've got to hold on to it a little bit, even risk the holding the ball rather than just popping the ball and creating a turnover in your back 50. But the Collingwood players certainly had plenty of numbers to surge the ball through.
Well, the one thing Collingwood are doing, they're keeping the board ticking over a bit themselves. I mean, they've kicked 3-3. At least they're getting blown away a bit, but at least they're ticking it over.
Getting dominating the clearances, 14 to Carlton, 6 to Collingwood. So we're out of this congested area. Carlton, McLean's had 4. Carlton are just continually taken away.
Blues by 21 on the way down Hudson. Almost gained possession. Cruiser got him. Lucas tumbles in. Hudson tries to feed it out. Picked up brilliantly by McLean. Hand passes down towards half forward. Keisha over the football. Eluded him though. Coming through as Maxwell, the skipper for Collingwood. Down towards half forward. Overrunning it. Cracker. Picked up down there by Walker. Stifled off his boot. Opportunity for Pendlebury. Put the head down. Did well. Gave it to Swan to Blair. Blair inside the centre square. Goes long. And what a good mark that was. Nudged forward. He was off balance. The hands came up at just the right time. And he took the mark.
And you can just see the confidence of Lockie Henderson here. Just watch. He's thinking mark everything he does. So he's gone, I've got this one here, but
reached up that reach.
Ben Reid runs across the numbers, and that is a vital kick. 32 seconds remaining in the opening term. Collingwood get the goal they desperately required.
Yeah, it's a big goal for Collingwood. I mean, that's the fortunate part from a Collingwood point of view. With we see Jared Waite there on screen now. He obviously not playing any further part in this game. It means Lockie Henderson has to be held accountable. He's been fantastic, particularly in the last month, as we've said, marking the ball, and his confidence is high. He's reading the ball well, but he's got to play a serious role as a key defender in stopping a good marking target in Ben Reid. So that's a positive for Collingwood.
Gee, and I reckon Bucks is thinking, wow, he's not a bad forward that plays back these days, is he?
Yeah. And as this centre bounce, he's gone to the front of the top of the goal square to make Henderson play really deep from the full back line.
So Collingwood have sort of got out of this pretty well, I reckon. Hudson, they kicked 2 goals in the last sort of half minute, maybe another one. McCaffrey takes the mark. Quickly on Reid again, got him. Well, what a dramatic transformation here.
It's real role reversals. Carlton went in with Waite and Casbolt as 2 key forwards, and all the comments were Collingwood far too one-dimensional, but now it's gone totally the other way. So Casbolt the only key forward for Carlton, and Collingwood now with multiple opportunities.
So on the siren, it's a good-looking kick, and he's nailed it. What a response from Collingwood. What a first quarter we've had here. 12 goals kicked, 7-5, but it's Collingwood that have all the momentum at quarter time on a really big Friday night.
But I don't think you do it now. If you put Henderson in the forward line now, I suspect all of a sudden that would be playing the game, the game of bluff.
Lee made the point earlier, not always easy to play in a helmet. Mark Murphy, just the 2 possessions so far, starts the second term on the bench as the rucks work it. Knocked down by Cruiser, taken by Judd, tackle from behind and front on. The umpire will do it again.
Well, Mick Maltese will just have to hold his nerve with Henderson playing forward, because Reid has started forward for Collingwood. It means Walker has had to go to him.
Cruiser knocked it forward. Carranzo's over the football, attracts a crowd in the back, says the umpire. So Andrew back in the action, loves it in tight. Taking this kick just forward of the centre circles. Sends a high ball towards the 50-metre line. Brown got a fist in it, defiantly thumps it out wide. Lucas missed the footy, off the ground by Sidebottom. They seemed out of sorts last week. Ball runs up towards the wing. Tui collided with Cloak. It spills across to Jamison. In trouble. Curnow was taken down. Dwyer, so much of the football in the opening term. In goes Tui. Rose from one knee. Get it across to Carranzo. Down towards the 50 yet again. Pretty easy there for Shaw, but hurried the kick back towards the wing. Opportunity for Tui. Upended Curnow. Missed by Jamison. Swan is through.
And through he is, Dennis, with a running bounce, and then runs his full measure. Good kick and finds Witts. So Collingwood kicked 3 goals in the last 3 minutes of the opening term. A 12-goal opening term. It's only happened once before, actually, between these two clubs, and that was 58 years ago. So it's rare to have such a high-scoring game between the two great clubs. And can Witts kick a second goal here? Just his 4th game. 1 goal career-wise before tonight. And that ball hanging out and not coming back. So a bit of a miss, but a good start for Collingwood. What a transformation's come over this game since the Wade injury. So Simpson gets a kind bounce.
Runs forward of left half back, kicks beyond the wing, and from the side Maxwell. Didn't touch it, nobody did. Henderson, as we said, has gone forward now, started the game well, then had trouble late in the term. Trying to back out of that pack is Keisha, and the umpire will ball it up. The margin now at 8 points. Just repeating, they led by 28. Carlton about 10 minutes out from quarter time. Judd, Lucas, Carrazzo, Curnow inside the forward 50, going back. Armfield did well enough, got it on the ground. Williams, Shaw under pressure, gets the kick away out towards the boundary, bounces on its point, knowing where the help was, helped out right there. Swan over his shoulder found Pendlebury, who finds Cloak on the lead.
Swan, Pendlebury, Cloak, they're 3 biggest stars. There's a kick forward by Cloak's a scrubber and a boundary throw-in.
It was only Scott Pendlebury's first kick. He's had the 7 disposals, 6 hand passes, so you've got to be said so far that Keisha's doing a pretty good job so far in Scott Pendlebury.
Could be ominous though, Tom, if it gets off the leash a bit, because Collingwood just 8 points behind here.
Definitely glass half full approach.
Yep. Cruiser, Pendlebury there, Gibbs in hard, and he's got 3 Collingwood players hanging off him, including Hudson, and that ball's in there for a long time, but it'll be a ball up. So Cruiser just feeling inside a little, and was so good early. There is Pendlebury again, hacking the ball forward and then out of the fall. So it's been such a breezy couple of days in Melbourne, not so much when we were down there tonight, but last night there were gale force winds, and so far the weather's been pretty kind for this match. And kick towards Garlick. Collingwood had the numbers. Now Carlton. It was Keisha to Judd, and then Garlick releasing Judd.
Judd runs to the wing, takes something off this kick. It's ill-directed though. Sure, the first play on the ball, dragged down brilliantly though. Betts got him, emerging with the football. Casbolt didn't have it, no free kick. Side bottom, Blair. Now Thomas jams it through midfield. Awkward one for the big guy on the lead. They brilliant pick up Dwyer. Tackle from behind by Armfield, taken by Reid, who turned this game late in the opening term. Side bottom in space. Spots a man on the lead. In fact, 2 of them. Reid came across on the angle. Sends it down inside the forward 50. McCaffer almost couldn't complete the mark. Lays it off Cloak. Wheels around. Wants to deal on that left peg. Sends it long. It's working back. I think it's good. What a good goal. Wonderful goal by the Magpies. Well, the value of hard work, eh? They worked overtime on the outer side, and eventually Cloak, wonderful little balk, beat the man who was intent on smothering the kick, and then created his own space and time and put it through.
It hasn't been a high tackling game, but all of a sudden in the last 10 minutes of play, Carlton have just been a bit shaky with ball in hand. The Collingwood pressure is drawing the errors.
You feel like there's been a bit of spillage from Carlton in the last sort of 10 minutes.
As soon as he sold the dummy there and came back, it was always a pretty good chance to be a goal. Karsha had to play that a bit better.
So he's got 2, Cloak, because Reid with those 2 goals late in the first quarter. So 4 of their goals, Collingwood, have come from 19 kicks. They have been efficient after a bit sloppy early. Sinclair to half forward, Cloak and Jamison. That strong body of Cloak, giving Seedsman, Elliott half a chance. Now Keisha. Oh, that's it looked a very, very dangerous kick. It turned out all right. Curnow took the mark.
I mean, Curnow would take the mark. There were 3 other Carlton players in the area as well. I'm not sure Curnow was the intended target.
Armfield, Dwyer. So Armfield's got the run with Dwyer. Lucas back to Carrazzo. Gives Armfield the run. Does it sit? It does. He's running hard. Great chase. Wonderful stuff. Gee, that is a big win for Collingwood. It came from Young, I think.
It did. And now Swan's got the football. Down towards left half forward. Short, Cracker on the lead. He's been quiet so far. Marks about 70 metres from goal. Wheels around Pendlebury. Didn't have to break stride. Beautiful kick. Michael Malthouse suddenly with the roles reversed. in the respective coaching boxes. He's feeling the pressure.
That chase down tackle, he's pretty quick Armfield, so the fact that Young was able to get him, it turns the play, it gives enormous emotional energy to the Collingwood team.
So remarkable. Pendlebury kicking for the lead right here. And as we said, back in round 2, they did something similar. Slow start. And had the lead by quarter time. Well, it's taken a bit longer tonight, but they've got the lead now. Pendlebury. Using the ball brilliantly, but the inspiration for all of that was Clinton Young. The run down on the outer side. Armfield is very quick. And obviously, Young is too. 46 plays 42. Old Mo is wearing black and white.
Not bad first game for your club, eh? To do that, that's massive stuff.
That earns respect.
Some good praise there from someone who'd appreciate Hodgie. Hodgie.
Shared a premiership with him. And we're pleased for that. So it's been amazing by Collingwood here. I mean, 5 goals from their last 7 inside 50s.
Scott Pendlebury starting to get busy as well. Just having a spell at the moment. Case just looked a little bit tired, a little bit weary the past couple of minutes.
Casbolt, Cruiser. McLean was good early, had a lot of the ball. That's a good, clever kick. And Lucas continuing to mature and grow as a player, Lucas. Still very early in his career. Kicks to centre half forward. Cruiser was the one man out. Betts well played by Shaw. Judd has to come back onto the right. Concedes. Tui goes back. Now, does McLean get enough on this? It's spearing. It won't be a goal. It's a good ball. Not a mark. It's a goal to Betts. Wow, that's a huge mistake by Shaw. And Betts gets the goal.
I guess there's no good place to drop a mark, but about 2 feet out from the open goal.
He's had a good
moment. As bad as it can get.
I was going to say, he's had some good moments in that goal square, Shaw, over the years, but that wasn't one of them, unfortunately, for him.
That can happen. That's the way he plays. He wouldn't have played it any other way. He's just dropped the mark. He's out manoeuvred Eddie Betts, and he'll be filthy with himself on that one, but that's one you just put to the side and say
it's a skill error. That's costly.
Certainly didn't touch the post. Fortunate one there for the Blues, but they'll take it.
Spare a thought for Heath Shaw. Started on Garlett. Garlett got a couple. Spill in the goal square right there. Off hands, opportunity for Williams. Well done by Lucas. Shovels it wide. Tui's got the football. Sends it down towards half forward. Well done. Maxwell, the skipper. Towards half forward. Bentley put the back. Terrific by Jamison. Just launched himself. And he's taken the mark. Looks across the ground. Telling kick. Comes to Walker generally. Likes to take off. Well, that was measured. Comes to Keisha. So can they regroup? Betts getting that goal. A Collingwood mistake. What we've learned so far is that Jared Waite is worth his weight in weight.
Just Casbolt to get on the end of that. That was an 80-metre lead. He moves well outside of his natural habitat in the forward 50.
Young, last man in the pack, got hands to it. Cruiser, brilliant. McLean, is he quick enough? No. Sinclair had the speed. 2 great rundowns in the back. Oh, in the back against Sinclair. Free kick to Carlton and Brock McLean. He's into double figures in terms of possessions. Watch it again. Well,
I'm so sure about that one. I mean, basically he went forward. It wasn't Sinclair's weight that pushed him forward. He just, and I don't think he fell on his back anyway. Given the recent umpiring interpretations, I think he's pretty unlucky there.
Lee Matthews, as always, spot on. Doesn't need my backing, of course. There goes the kick. Hits the post, and maybe that is justice. They think so. That was almost the perfect tackle. He dropped to his knees. And what contact there was light and very light.
Hardest tackle to execute that one, and Sinclair can feel the vindicator with the point.
Shaw to Swan to Maxwell. It's a good handball by Swan. And that's a terrific contest. Jamison and Cloak. Two fine players. I mean, Cloak right at the height of his powers. Jamison just over 100 games. He's taken a while to get there, but he's a very good defender. Fit and going well. What a good match we're seeing. Judd's been terrific. Running hard. Gets to Murphy. As Dennis said, he's been quietish. Has a bit of a fumble there, and then the handball not great. Put Robinson under the puck, goes back to McLean, and then off a step, torpedoing the ball forward and out. You know what I mean? But Murphy had a chance. I think he was uncertain. He probably wasn't quite close enough to really ram it for the goals. And in the end, they do get the ball forward. So Carlton in the forward pocket.
Hudson. Casbolt reaches over the top. McLean again, smothered by Brown. Ricochets out towards the defensive 50. Judd put the body in the opposite direction, and going down was the big fellow. Nothing doing. That was Gibbs who went to ground. On the outer side, leading back. An opportunity for Cloak. He overran it. Cloak wrestles with Jamison. Dwyer arrives. Kicks down towards half forward. Taken by McCaffrey. Sweeping hand pass inside. Releases Seedsman. Lines up on goal. Nobody in the goal square, but he misses.
It's a good kick, Seedsman, but if you have a look at his goal record this year, he's kicked 5 goals, 11 for the season. 1-5 from set shots and 4 goals, 6 on the run. So he's missed a couple tonight. That was a real chance. Cloak had done so well on the other side, hadn't he? Here's McLean getting it from Keisha. It's been a great game of football. 8 goals to 7.
It's having a good game again. Brock McLean leading all comers with 5 clearances, 13 disposals.
And that kick sort of to the advantage of Hudson. Side bottom, well played. And then Sinclair, that was a clever kick. Kept it just in. Thomas, goal in that opening term. Back to Maxwell. Maxwell, good kick. Shaw so creative. Loves to run and carry. Kicks the ball wide to his mate Swan. Now does he try and turn Gibbs inside out?
What a transformation has come over this game. Dwyer, confidence on the rise, took the mark, plays on immediately. Betts arrived though quickly, and that's incorrect disposal Carlton's way, and Carlton players flooding back down the ground. But Betts decides against going long, at least for the moment. Flirted with the idea of coming across the ground. Now he finds Carrazzo, the defensive side of right centre wing. The chase and the tackle has been so strong from both clubs tonight. And now you get the feeling in this tug of war that Carlton are just regaining their balance and perhaps control, at least for the moment, as this ball goes out towards right half back, and Carrazzo again. Carrazzo with the decision to make. Really doesn't make one, just comes back to Gibbs. Gibbs goes all the way back to Walker. Nothing on this side of the ground, though. Where will he go now? Yaron offers a lead. Well, this needs to be pinpoint. And he finds Jamison in the left-back pocket.
It's a real test of their kicking skills, isn't it? And then Jamison down the line. They've created a turnover. Cracker. Reed. And then Reed. Good-looking kick. A big stretch came from Swan. And now Blair. Blair to put Collingwood in. Well, it's a big miss. Got a good record against the Blues. He really had a chance there, plenty of time, but it was a good effort by Collingwood. They put the pressure on Carlton coming out of the back half, as they've done here, and another turnover.
Well, they've done well, Bruce, particularly on their last play, was they've cut off the outlets there for Carlton. That's just discipline. That's exactly what Nathan Buckley was looking for at the start of the game, to go into the contest, making it really hard to play against. In the last quarter and a bit, certainly been that from the Pies.
Cruiser, first hand of the footy, Armfield's over it. Blair came strongly. Blair wrenches the ball away. Tried to give it to Hudson. He was taken down by Robinson. Side bottom goes in there. Swan only as far as Curnow. Curnow did well. Lost the footy. Swan had it momentarily. Curnow came back and nabbed it. We'll get a ball up, so a draw, but it was a powerful one. Tossed up immediately. Rucks lock up again. Hudson with a backhander this time. Robinson standing off the pack. Too hot for Lucas. In goes Maxwell. He's over the footy. Rolls in the direction of Robinson. He's tackled from behind. And the umpire will do it again.
So the bash and crash. Thomas into Carrazzo. Collingwood whack it forward. Cloak. Little give. Cracker. Back to Cloak, and then Cloak off the steps, smothered, play on obviously. Thomas McInnes, good tackle, he dropped it down, free kick. Yeah, right decision. Kicked his first goal in league footy in the opening term. It was a bomb from outside 50. Carlton had a cosy lead at that stage. They led 7 goals to 2 at one stage. So out wide, and they're getting
That's interesting, isn't it?
closed in here.
There's been so little free kicks played, really, the last month, 6 weeks, that when they do play one, you think it's almost out of context because there's so many let go. When one finally gets paid, it almost seems unfair.
That's the problem with doing it that way, isn't it? Nice work. Kennedy is away, or rather, it's Elliott who kicks it down towards full forward. There's going to be a whistle, and a free kick is going to the defender, Jamison.
That was the one slinging him out of the way, according to the umpire Chamberlain.
In fact, it's Walker who's getting the free. Reed took the mark, but the umpire indicating the defender was slung out of there, Walker. So now it's with Lucas. He's in the back pocket. So fans of both sides getting upset as Lucas kicks short of the wing. Pendlebury came up to meet it. Cruz's hand pass misses the target. Pendlebury in again. Gibbs was over the footy. Maxwell on a collision course there with Keisha, and the umpire has decided it's a free kick Keisha's way. So this ball is coming back. It's gone beyond the wing, but the umpire insisting no advantage there. So Keisha to take this kick just shy of right centre wing.
And they haven't been able to get it any further than here for about the last 5 minutes, I reckon, Carlton. They kicked to a contest, but not a good kick on Hudson, so they just can't penetrate at the moment. Pendlebury opening it up. Gets it wide to Suitsman, and then Collingwood through the centre with some run and carry. Elliott over the top, and they need the bounce. Well done, Shaw, belting forward. Judd and Shaw running hard. Judd up for it, and that ball out, boundary throw.
It's one of the things I love about Heath Shaw, and we just see the contest here, the sling. Yep.
I think Walker conceded, actually.
Yep.
I think he was surprised he got it, so Hudson, the third man up. Elliott doing the roving. Blair, Thomas. Good kick towards full forward. Bad bounce. Jamison, Lucas.
This is Simpson. He's at left half back. Takes something off the kick. Casbolt is coming hard. Side bottom. Figure tipped it away. Went back and found it now. Sinclair looks towards the middle. Nothing on. Feeds it forward. Seedsman more time than he knew. Hurried kick. Thomas was waiting. And Simpson took advantage of that and came over the top and punched it out of bounds. Just under 6 minutes till half-time. A point the difference. Carlton lead. Rocks go at it. Hudson backhands it down. McLean kept it going Carlton's way. McGuinness. McLean feeds it forward. They had the numbers behind the ball, one of whom was Armfield. Gave it to Lucas. Now it comes across towards Henderson. Henderson's holding it. Just ran into a dead end provided by McCaffer.
It's been near of his game.
50-metre penalty as well.
Meters. We have been heaping a lot of praise on Lockie Henderson, justifiably so, for his work in the air. And explanation from the umpire.
So the man on the mark, if there is one, will be on the goal line. McCaffer decides to go in and kick it and does. Collingwood back in front.
Yeah, it's interesting with Henderson because, I mean, he's playing really well, but he's been caught holding the ball 3 times, 2 of them at critical stage. I mean, last week was massive, wasn't it?
Yeah,
and that was a bad error.
So, I mean, it is one of those ones where his confidence is high, justifiably so, but you also need to know what your strengths are and play to them.
He's not a ground level player,
no,
really.
He's not. He's not a running carry.
As soon as he tries to fade the tackle, then he can be in trouble.
Yeah, the knee flush in the back there for Scotty Pendlebury, so he'll be sore. We'll keep an eye on that.
So the Pies back in front here. Henderson caught again, holding the ball in the back half. So that's something that's been a worry for him, too high. Gee, Collingwood have turned this around so well. You've got to admire this effort. The kick from Thomas is a good one. And Cloak, well,
This is range.
I agree. He could. Remember that grand final against Geelong early? He was kicking them from here.
Said many times, he's got the distance and he doesn't, sometimes he steers them from in place, but when he gets out near the 50-metre line, he knows he has to kick it hard and he normally kicks straight at doing it that way.
So it's a good chance, we reckon. He's been in good form again tonight. He's had a good season. She's hit it well. That is a great, long, strong kick. It's a goal. Well, Lee, you said he has to kick 5. That was before Reid went 4, but he's got 3 anyway.
No, he's got 3 before half-time, so he's certainly... I mean, both sides actually are scoring. I mean, certainly Carlton's scoring is dried up, but basically their inside 50s have dried up. But Collingwood have kicked 9 goals from 25 entries, so a bit better than 1 out of 3. So that's a much improved percentage on what they've been averaging over most of the season.
Yeah, good use there, and it is his range. Travis Cloak went the distance, no problem.
Terrific performance by the Magpies. They're up by 11. Cruiser thumps Carlton forward, coming off the line of the square. Sinclair slipped it away, taken by Ball, the side bottom, finds a way through down towards half-forward. Cracker just forward of the centre circles. Men on to lob the footy too. Well, better still, got a Cloak.
Separating the Carlton defenders really well at the moment. Lockie Henderson's been brought right back to the goal line on Witts. Walker, who was also a creative player, is being occupied by Reid. You just see on the top of the left-hand screen, which opened up all the space. One-on-one at the moment. The Collingwood forwards look far too dangerous for the Carlton
15
backs.
seconds.
So Cloak, his best performance against Carlton 4, round 18:07. Hasn't really gone off with a bang against Carlton, which that would indicate 15 games, 22 goals. And he misses his 4th right there, just hanging it out to the left.
So it's been 12 minutes since Carlton's had the ball inside their forward 50. It's 7-5 to 1-1 since Carlton had the big lead. And Lee, you've always said to me they're a better team with weight in the team, Carlton, and I feel like they are tonight. I mean, this has been a remarkable turnaround.
It's interesting, you often talk about talented individuals, then you talk about structures, and he is so important.
But really, this, as has been mentioned last 10 minutes, it hasn't been weights, nor not Wade's absence being the problem, because they haven't got the ball to that part of the ground for this last half a quarter.
No. Still, it's only a 2-goal game, but wow, you wouldn't have been talking about that before. Now they have a chance to go inside. Marley Williams, well played. Did it brilliantly, actually. Clever little kick to Pendlebury. Releases to Brown. Back to Ball. Ball. Handball to Elliott. Elliott. Out wide. Blair. Still Blair. Blair confident enough, but then misses the kick. Look at the inside 50s here.
It's really around the middle of the ground where Collingwood have completely taken over. They just keep continuing now taking the ball away from those contested situations. There's no loose man back for either side, but both sides, or certainly Carlton, are wanting to go sideways instead of just going to contest deep forward.
Judd uncertain, goes a fair way too. Hand passes to Carranza, back to Judd, treads one forward. Now it's Jamison well up the ground, kicks inside the forward 50. From behind Shaw, intent on destruction. Punches it away from Betts and the ball goes out of bounds.
One of the things I love about Heath Shaw, he made an absolute howler where he dropped the ball, but he continues to charge off down the ground. He backs himself in, and he has taken his game to another level in sorts by playing deep one-on-one and winning those contests as well.
112 points. Hudson gets high. Taken by Swan, who kicks it very high inside the 50. Opportunity for Henderson in the grasp. Judd did well. Went back to the voice and Gibbs to Simpson. Comes to Walker. Walker wants to go. Not much on. Squares the ball. McLean, never the quickest. Gets it kicked to half forward. Will it go out of bounds? Well, that's what he's after, I think. But it stays in, so best not to appeal that.
Now Ball gets it from Swan. And that kick to a contest. Walker at the back of McCaffer. Cracker did well, very well. And tap on by Tui was good. Well done again by Williams, getting through. And then Elliott's kick wild. Thomas's kick wild to Elliott. And Elliott has all the time in the world to go over the top and do the team thing. And Witts gets his 2nd goal. Well, you feel like Carlton have run out of ideas at the moment. They're just playing some really strange football with ball in hand.
They've lost complete confidence of going quickly forward, so they're trying to set it up across field and half back, but there's no loose man, so Collingwood are covering that, and then they're just being drawn into errors, and then from that rebound surge out of the middle of the ground, Collingwood going in an open forward line so easily.
Well, Carlton have been taking a lot of contested marks, most of them forward, averaging 15 over the last month per game. They've only taken 4 tonight, and they are bereft of confidence in driving the ball forward. They just don't have an option, and Collingwood able to rebound far too easily.
10 points the margin. Cruiser, Carrazzo, and out of the middle Murphy. It bounces down towards half forward Seedsman. The run of Collingwood irresistible at the moment. He kicks it down towards right half forward, pitches on its head. Tui went to ground, taken by Swan. Thought about the hand pass, goes down the line, half volley for Cloak. Left it behind, Jamison first back. Cloak though wins the football, confronted by Tui. It rolls away from the pack momentarily. We'll get a ball up. A minute 14 till half-time.
Collingwood charging away here. Cruiser caught up. Keisha's little handball. Walker and also Tui. Walker with the footing. Caught up. Ball up. Pendlebury in there hard. Just saw Betts a moment ago, just trying to rearrange things and yelling out who's got Swan, who's got this guy. So Carlton a bit of 6s and 7s here. Their only goal was a little bit of luck in this term. Betts was the recipient of that. Now that ball not coming out.
Holding the ball, Collingwood.
So you heard the umpire diving on it. So Pendlebury to fall forward. Cloak. Well, he's just having a field day, and his old coach, previous coach.
When as soon as he slipped Jamison, he was going to take a fairly much just an open fly at the ball. He was always going to mark that.
And Dennis said earlier he's best against the Blues is 4 goals. So he had a career high this year of 7 against the Tigers. So he's going to kick his 4th right here and now. What an effort. What an effort by the team. There's Dad. Good player, Dad, wasn't he, Lee?
A great player for Richmond and Collingwood, and then finished his career at Richmond, of course.
So Collingwood, 9 of the last 10 goals in this game. 9 goals coming from their last 17 inside 50s. What a run.
Yeah, Pink for bringing the ball in there. Reasonably hard done by, I think, there, Keisha.
Definitely.
Yeah, it didn't look like there was any diving on the ball there. It was like a wrestle at ground level.
It's a silly free kick, isn't it? I mean, how could you?
Here we go.
So just a couple of seconds to go. Cruiser and Witts. Witts wins it down. There's the siren. Well, a remarkable turnaround, and so much depending on that man now to find some answers. Collingwood, with about 10 minutes to go in the first term, trailed by 28 points. They got late goals. They trailed by 9 at quarter time, and that set the platform for them to grab this game by the scruff of the neck. And now at half-time, they lead 11-7-73 to Carlton's 8-1-49, and the Blues fairly and squarely with their backs to the wall on Friday Night Football. Well, approaching quarter time, Carlton led by 28 points. At half-time, they trail by 24 as we start this 3rd term. What can they do here, the Blues, to work their way back into this one? Irresistible football from Collingwood at times in the 2nd term, and late in the 1st. Ball only as far as Armfield. Ball comes again. The loose ball went to Hudson. Then ball. I know it's confusing. Hand passed out the congestion. Sinclair searching kick inside the forward 50. Loose ball at the back. Witts knocks it down. Follows up. Blair missed it. Walker too nimble. Feigns a hand pass. Then the give. Gave it to Simpson. To Gibbs. Cruiser back to Simpson. Runs beyond half back. Awkward kick though. It bounces down towards half forward. Oh, clever by side bottom. Turn side on if you don't mind. Maxwell just lays it off. Williams finds a man on the lead, and that's Elliott.
So Elliott out from half forward looking for Cloak. G. Simpson courageous. Keisha there caught by Pendlebury and also Blair. Ball getting it out to Hudson. Hudson off a step to fall forward. Witts and Henderson bouncing ball. Now Henderson did well. Got it to Lucas. Lucas off a step. They can't concede the opening goal, you'd say, the Blues here. They need to make an early stand here against a rampaging Collingwood. Side bottom for the second time, some good play. Williams just dropped it. Swan, 18 disposals in the opening term. Bouncing ball. Well done by Young, and a boundary throw in there.
You look around the Carlton midfield to see where they get a lift. They've started Judd as part of their forward group. They've put Murphy in there, but gee, you just think, where are they going to get this midfield lift from? Who are going to be the players? It's just get down to a handful. You think Judd, Murphy, maybe Gibbs.
Travis Cloke has had a big say so far with 4 goals. We saw him momentarily.
Well, Lee, when you allocate so many roles defensively with Keisha and Curnow, you just don't have the depth to inject new players into the midfield that can provide that spark.
And that was a problem early last week. Made it very tough to score. Pendlebury, Swan, relishing this situation, goes down towards half forward. Cloke on a long lead, well played by Jamieson. Step for step, getting a fist on it and angling the ball across the boundary line.
And funnily enough, 2 of their most dynamic players in general are Simpson and Walker, and they're both playing key roles in defence.
So Hudson probably won the tap. Carazzo's handball, asked Cruiser a bit. Did well there, Cruiser, really well, but then has it ricocheted away. Belted forward by Thomas. Dwyer, terrific opening term. Murphy, just the 5 disposals to half-time. Dwyer went without it. Pendlebury, McCaffer, Toohey, so some untidy football. Toohey's handball into a contest. Sinclair was wonderful. He turned and kept his feet. Is it in the back? I think it is. Free kick. And then Elliott and Sinclair, who a moment ago was just terrific, takes the mark. He's only kicked 2 goals this year. They were both against Carlton in round 2. He's played in the back half most of the season. So Carlton a bit sore and sorry at the moment. Betts very sore on the mark. Sinclair. Won't be a score. Unless, well, it is now off Cloak, so behind.
Intended to pull the kick a little bit, but just needed to go closer to the top of the square, not so deep.
Collingwood by 25 points. Carlton, who's made a good return. In the back pocket. High ball, short of the wing. Casbolt edged under it. Brown takes the mark and it's paid. So things falling into place for the Magpies. Brown goes for distance. Back inside the forward 50 yet again, and Reid, as he did late in that opening term, standing tall. Simpson can't believe it.
You're saying, why have I got the matchup? Where are my big defenders? And sometimes you swap in defence, you just have to do that. But gee, that was a bad matchup when the ball comes one-on-one, 20 metres out.
He had to think it through probably a bit better also there. Cade Simpson, give himself some room to launch and spoil the ball.
Like climbing Everest in a pair of thongs. Reid sends the kick on its way and puts it through. He's got 3. Carlton in free fall. Well, he expected help over the top, and that's the point he's making right there. Wanted a 3rd man up. He engaged Reid. Reid didn't have to jump. He knew he had Simpson's measure, but Simpson thought there would be a Carlton player flying from behind. That didn't eventuate, but a goal did.
Just those last couple of steps there. He actually got the positioning okay when the ball was probably 10 or 15 metres away. He needed to launch at it to give himself the best shot, but once he engaged and got into a wrestle, no hope for Simpson.
Didn't get there.
I tell you what, early in the game it looked like Cruiser might dominate the ruck, but I've got to say Hudson and Wicks have more than evened up in that position.
And here is Hudson Lee. Cruiser just getting over the top. McLean was so good early. He had some mates. Judd had a wonderful first quarter. Reid, by the way, 3 goals tonight. He's only once got, other than tonight, and there's Betts, who's a bit sore. Reid's had more than 1 goal twice, and they've both been on Friday Night Football. 5 weeks ago, he got 3 against the Lions and 3 tonight. So another ball up. And Betts really trying to work that soreness out. They're in disarray at the moment, the Blues. They really are. Their season is unravelling. Lucas, Armfield, the sub, came on for Wake. Kicks the ball forward. Well done, Curnow. Just work side bottom underneath. No, free kick against him for hands in the back.
Not quite sure. Side bottom goes to Young. Young hasn't had a lot of the footy. Sends it down towards half forward. Off hands, it runs free at the back. It was intended initially for Cloak. Reed did pretty well in a tight situation. Cracker on the assist. Now Dwyer snaps back across his body and kicks it behind.
I guess there was a left hand on the back.
Well, it's in favour and it's out these days. Sometimes it is paid, sometimes it's not. A lot of people thought it was pedantic, but at least you knew where you stood. And this ball goes across the boundary line. That was a good smother. Well done. He's been very effective with his speed, Sinclair.
With the inside 50s, they've had 6 since quarter time.
Well, the last 19 leads 16 to Collingwood.
Yeah.
Just complete domination here. Betts, we just saw how he hurt himself a moment ago. Carrazzo hasn't played 8 matches he missed of AFL, 9 weeks in total with the bye, but he played a VFL game. He's been pretty good, Carrazzo. Murphy just hasn't been able to impact at all. I mean, he only missed the 1 match plus the bye, but well, Hudson there just manhandling Cruiser effectively, getting the ball forward. Reed and Walker. Walker looking for free and then conceding. And Malcheski saying, what about me? And it'll be a kick in.
Tim, Carlton's season on the line here. Is it time to throw caution to the wind, remove the defensive tags and just go all out attack through the midfield?
Well, they've got to get something going, Tom. You're quite right about that. I've just been thinking about the idea of maybe putting Walker on the ball, but the problem that they've got at the moment is they can't actually shift him from that part of the ground either.
Armfield kicks it towards the wing. Yaron, really sighted. Sends it down towards half forward. In front, Casbolt, fisted away by Brown. Yaron kept on coming. Well done. Runs the boundary line. Wrong foot Seedsman. Sends it back towards the middle and Keisha. Keisha is 60 metres out. Well, the numbers favour Collingwood back here. It was a poorly constructed kick. Murphy arrives quickly, but the ball runs away from him and goes out of bounds. Thomas taking no chances.
The one I'd be thinking about is try and get Simpson up into the middle of the ground and maybe get one of those Kerno or one of those players back on Cracker to play small defence. They just need more offence out of the middle of the ground.
Thomas has been good. Then Swan hacks the ball forward. Cloak's so strong in these situations. Gets the better of Jamison. Frustrated Jamison there. Bouncing ball. Walker's got the pace. He's got a bit of space now on Reed. He should be able to deliver to Tui, and he does. So it's 27 minutes since Carlton scored anything here. I mean, close to a half an hour.
Can't score the ball if it's not within a kick of goal. And it hasn't been for Carlton for about 40 minutes.
So Tui with a little dummy. Casbolt, good fly, but nobody at the back. Nobody for the Blues. Swan, that one cut off by Armfield. Swan wins his footy back though, and brilliantly done. Pendlebury, wonderful to Elliott, and then Elliott goes back to Seedsman to Elliott, running on hard. Oh gee, okay, good decision. They didn't impede him really in the end, and then Shaw off a step to Seedsman, and suddenly there's a bit of pomp about Collingwood right now. They look good.
Robinson down and hurt. For not the first time in his career. There's Elliott, Hubby's okay. Seedsman with dash. Goes looking for Cloak. That would have taken very strong hands. He couldn't hang on. Seedsman follows up the kick, gets the crumb, goes down towards full forward. Side bottom running back, takes the mark. Watch him, runs around, stops, hits the post. He smiles. They're in control. 83 to 49 as Robinson takes his seat.
Right on the point of the shoulder.
So Yaron just getting a little touch or two, but they need a whole lot. Gibbs, Kerno, Murphy, quick release, Casbolt now. Judd running hard, Casbolt kicking long to the pocket. Garlett and Brown and a boundary throw in. Can they construct something here, Carlton? I mean, the theme for Carlton, we've seen them the last month, they just can't sustain good footy for a whole match. Well, tonight it didn't last long at all so far. Had they got a second wind? It doesn't look like it right now. Boy.
Both great.
You feel it's got to come from the Garletts and Yaron's forward and the midfield through maybe Judd and Murphy, but Murphy seems completely out of sorts tonight.
Push out. Advantage.
Swan. Little kick. Cracker. Well done, Simpson. Very well done, Blair. High tackle on Cracker, free kick.
Yep. So Cracker to take this one. Midway between half-back and centre wing. Carlton just mired on 6 wins for the moment. Friday nights have not been kind in recent times to them. McCaffer, high ball towards half-forward. Cloak, fisted away by Jamison. Almost worth a kick, but goes directly to Young. Lays it off to Thomas. Thomas took his full measure, kicks inside the forward 50, and Woods comes up and takes the mark on his chest. He's kicked a couple. I suppose Carlton supporters thinking about the future, even at this early stage. Yes, he could have.
I reckon Young would have loved to have run through the 50-metre line on his left foot, so which got a bit of pressure on to make sure he does the job now.
Jared Witts from the 50. That's a lovely kick. Did it carry the line? Not sure. We've got a conference. Now the technology is in place, but the best technology tonight
Score review.
can't be used.
The umpire's call is touched. We'd just like to check, please.
Hawkeye is being trialled tonight, but it won't be on air. The AFL trying to determine if it is the best deal. But for the moment, they'll have to make do with these replays.
That angle's not going to help much for whether it crossed the line or not.
Could have been a very ticky touch with over the shoulder there too for a walk on Reid.
I have to say the goal umpire in perfect position.
Yeah.
Straddled. There was a day or two when straddled was unfashionable, but it seems to be back in vogue.
Review completed. Confirm behind.
Confirmed. Confirmed, Tom.
Confirmed the umpire's decision, I think it was.
Is that what he meant? Okay.
Normally they say inconclusive, but that was confirmed.
Inconclusive umpire's decision normally. The terminology, like everything else with that, is still a work in progress.
Right decision in the end, then.
Yes, that's the one, we think. Judd socketed forward, taken by Ball along the line. Young, awkward hand pass. Well done by the big guy. Reached down and just took it in one hand like a loaf of bread. Gave it across to McCaffer. Juggled attempt. Wonderful mark, Swan. He's away. Kicks inside the forward 50. Oh, read brilliantly by McGuinness.
It was read brilliantly. Hard kick though to Curnow. It was slow and side bottom was up for it. And that's a great kick to Reid. What about Witts a moment ago? Dennis was onto him. I'll tell you what, Mickey's at his wits' end right now.
I've never seen this Carlton midfield group get stitched up as badly as they have been this last quarter and a half. I mean, they have just been dominated.
So can Reid get a career high here? That was great by side bottom. It was a slow kick though to Curnow. Can Reid kick 4 for the first time and be a match for Cloak? It's coming back. He has. Well, it's absolutely one-way trip. They've kicked 6 goals, 8 to nothing in the last 31 minutes.
Yeah, unbelievable. And it will be interesting. I mean, tonight they don't need Reid in defence tonight because Carlton haven't got enough height in there to need his services. But
what do you think, Lee?
You ask yourself the question: can Collingwood, with the personnel available at the moment, can they be a better team with Reid in the forward line and try and cover? They've still got Nathan Brown in defence. Use Nick Maxwell a bit taller than he's been.
It's a funny old kick in the end, but he got it home. So Lee, that and Tom, that is a really interesting question for the back half of the season. Yeah. Reid and Cloak on the forward line.
What makes them a better team?
Carlisle and Hurley, it's starting to happen, isn't it? Coaches throwing their players around and getting some unexpected results, some very good results. As Murphy goes inside the forward 50, low down, Henderson has taken the mark. He went forward in the absence of weight.
Well, over the last couple of years, we've seen key forwards dominate key finals. So it's not so much the damage that Ben Reid can do as a forward for Collingwood. It's whether they've got someone else who can help out Brown down back. And
34 minutes since Carlton have scored anything. And since they led by 28, it's been 11-10 to 1-1. Make that 2-1. They're damning and remarkable figures, aren't they? So the margin is 35 points.
Just Durai.
That was a good
Cut
ball.
from the back.
You got to do some things for marriage.
Yeah. That's it. Give and take.
Freeze to death, but read a book.
Could be your new book, Lee.
More about that later, Tom.
Pre-release.
Hold your fire, Tom.
Oh,
More about
sorry.
that later. No, that's okay.
Well, just on screen there, and if we're talking about whether Reid can go forward and Collingwood can man that down back, it will mean that Nick Maxwell will have to play more of a
Play taller.
key defence. And if it's shown over his career he can do that, so it could be a wild card for the Pies in the second half of the year.
So 9-1 to 13-12. What a funny lopsided scoreline it's turned out to be. Carlton did get the last goal. Good stuff by Blair, though, and also Ball to get the ball forward. Here's Simpson. Simpson's kick. Murphy tapping on. Carazzo, the two comeback kids. Well done, Carazzo. The two captains go hard at it. And a ball up. Good decision.
Well, you mentioned the comeback kids, Bruce, and it has shown that it's very hard to come back into an AFL midfield and have an influence straight away. And Carlton have been seriously exposed with a lack of depth through their midfield and run.
Cracker, not quite. Yes, he did. Well, one guy that's going to hope to do that shortly is Beams, because he's playing in the VFL. I mean, that's going to be a massive inclusion for Collingwood in the second half of the season.
Kick towards half forward. Stretching Cloak, plays on immediately, releases Pendlebury on his right side. As a result, not his best kick. It floats down towards full forward. Elliott didn't seem to have the football. Gibbs took him down about 10 metres out from goal. And the umpire will ball it up.
Tell you down the other end, though, Andrew Walker, I don't think he's comfortable playing as a close checking defender. He likes to be a runner and a creator, but if Henderson's down the other end, he now needs to play
Particularly not tall.
key defence, yeah.
Backhanded down by Witts. Simpson. McLean. And now Cruiser away to midfield. Nobody behind this pair. Tracking it back inside the centre circle. Sinclair arriving quickly. Maxwell. Smart. As well as the chief. He hand passes across towards side bottom. It goes down towards half forward. Off hands, or was it? Is it Patamark? It is. Armfield.
Good one. So started as a sub, came on pretty early. Stretchy kick. Murphy, poor kick. He's having a very ordinary night. So's his team. Seedsman gets it from Dwyer to centre half forward. Where are the Flyers? Well, splitting the pack was Reid. Gibbs ducking down low. Henderson, good handball. Simpson releases Cruiser. Keisha, some run for Carlton. Good looking kick for Yaron. Shaw's very good one-on-one. This is a test. Yaron and Shaw. Yaron and Shaw. Well done, both of them. Played it well, Shaw in the end. He had the advantage of being the defender. And then Maxwell sweeps it out wide. And Seedsman has to wait. Well done, Yaron, though, to have a second and third effort. He did well. Garlett, what's Garlett doing? That's terrible. That's poor. Anyway, that was a great contest, wasn't it? Yaron showed a bit of heart to get back into the next contest as well.
Oh, it should be a bare minimum, Bruce. It shouldn't necessarily celebrate those efforts. It needs to be a benchmark.
Fair enough. Keisha out on the forward. Pendlebury.
Right on the wing. Sends a high one down towards half forward. Witts comes up. Well, into the back of Cloak as it worked out. Or didn't work out. Jamison coughs it up. Cloak scrambles it forward, bounces it down to the pocket. Walker backs himself against the footy. Went over his head. Taken by Swan. Rushes into an open goal and he misses.
With the handball, when you got the player, when you can see there's a player free in front of you, as Reid was to Swan, you just give him the footy because you're not sure what's behind you. And Reid knows exactly that.
Made the point.
Not hysterically, did he? But he did make the point. Walker. So Walker being really tested tonight. Talked about his fine year. Impressed with Simpson. That was a good crash onto Young. And now Gibbs. Wow, that is a very ambitious kick. Maybe they need to be very ambitious right now. Judd, well done. Made his debut, of course, against the Pies 11 seasons ago. Kicks to a one-on-one. Garlick can't win it. Sinclair has a big, big victory. Judd tries to hold him up. Thomas off a step. Hudson. And then the veteran goes long. He's confident about Witts. Witts front spot. Cracker lurking. Henderson in there. Keisha gets down low. Witts gets over the top of him and it'll be a ball up. Gee, Garlett, that one-on-one with Sinclair was vital, wasn't it? It was a forward 50 to be won, and here it was.
Wits, first hand to it. McLean. In trouble, Judd going nowhere. Cracker step for step, and the ball and Judd go across the boundary line.
Interesting number there. Time in forward half. Clearly, Collingwood 2/3 of the game.
This has been so impressive by Collingwood. Nathan Buckley spoke after the Port Adelaide loss about committed players. Pendlebury to ball, 2 of them tonight. Hooked across the body. Dangerous ball. Well done by Murphy. A lot of courage. Goes back wearing the helmet, a legacy of the last time we had a collision. Away he comes. Nobody standing the mark, so he runs it beyond half back. Sends it towards the outer side. And Carlton with the numbers 2-on-1. Just required the 1. That's Lucas. High ball. Robinson. He'll be hard pressed. There's 2-on-1 here. Robinson fights the fight, but Collingwood eventually 3-on-1. Seedsman comes away.
Have the numbers. Carlton had an opportunity to turn it back over. Couldn't quite. Now they get it again. Lucas. Simpson. It's been good, Simpson. Back to Judd. He's had a pretty good match too. The champ kicks the ball to about 50. Robinson, good fly. Belted away by Sidebottom. Williams and Yaron and McLean. Now Yaron's clever by Williams. Yaron kept his feet. That was brilliant by Yaron. That is a great kick to the goal square. And Cruz has taken the mark. Well done, Yaron. A touch of brilliance when they needed it.
A couple of really good efforts from Mitch Robinson with a bung shoulder to present.
And Cruiser misses.
It's good by Yaron, wasn't it?
Oh,
Shows what he can do.
He's light on his feet when he's just got it. When he can get that yard or 2 clear, then he can use his agility and speed. It's getting that yard clear is what doesn't happen as often as the Carlton people would like.
Elliott plays on. Stretching. McCaffrey takes the mark. The real litmus test here is 26 possessions to 11. Maxwell with dash comes away from half back. Long kick and a beautiful 1-2. Swan didn't have to break stride against quality. Just pops it, or tried to, over Judd's head. Cloak came up the ground. Blair still going. Dwyer deep in the pocket. Tries to bounce it through, and he did. Well, Carlton buckle at the knees. That was with intent. And like a surgeon, the man who had most possessions in the first half and now is on 16, slotted it from the sharpest of angles.
Too easy coast to coast there from Collingwood. Swan involved again. He's having a big night.
I reckon a lot of players try to bounce the ball through when they should, but that is the one time you've got no choice. Bouncing the ball, trying to get a little bit of right-hand turn on is the only chance you've got any of scoring. He did that beautifully.
It was Peter Dacos like, wasn't it? Gee, Hudson, look at that. To Pendlebury. Collingwood having a real night out. Big fly coming at the back from Cloak. High, free kick. Against Walker.
It's what you do, you crumb, you actually go in. That's a beautiful tap out in the middle here that set this up. But go after the ball, put your head over the ball, and as you come up, there's always a fair chance the tackler will catch you high, but you've got to get your head down in the first place, and that's what Cracker did.
A revealing interview this week from Cracker, back in the team, so Walker. It's a tough night, Walker. Cracker from point-blank range. And Collingwood are just hammering Carlton. And the 2 W's, Waite and Walker. Both key players for Carlton. Swing players. I mean, Waite's certainly a forward these days, but they've been swing players throughout. We've talked about them being barometers at times, the 2 of them, but a sad night for both. Gee, this is a damaging defeat now. I mean, you don't recover quickly from nights like this, I reckon. It all unravels.
Yeah, looks to have hurt his knee on the fall there, I think. Cracker coming across.
Back in in the middle. Casbolt knocks it down. Robinson digs it out. Swan again having a wonderful night. High ball only goes about 20 metres. Casbolt went after it. So too did Judd. Down goes Blair. Judd over the top, and the umpire will whistle it up. 103 plays 56, approaching three-quarter time. Just get the feeling on what we've seen, and we've seen a lot of Carlton recently. Their finals future might be linked to Essendon's future at best. It's not in the back. Ball went to ground. Ball trickles out. Down goes Thomas. Ball up.
And just looking at the team, they're missing obviously Scotland, but
this is the worst half of football I've seen Carlton play for years. I mean, just since quarter time, they've just been inept. Collingwood have been good, but they've been terrible.
Lucas, Robinson, he missed the footy. Blair, ball goes after it. Garlett, straight to McCaffer. Blair, great evasion, great tackle, got him down in the opposite direction. It was McGuinness, and now it spills to Williams, and Williams takes a snap and misses.
So, I mean, their side that they've got obviously a couple of injuries with Waite. Walker looks a bit lame, and Betts and Robinson have had their moments, but they don't have too much to bring in. I think it does highlight, as I've said before, just a real concern, lack of depth, the Blues.
Since late in the first quarter, it's 13 goals, 12 to 2-2. I mean, that's
It's
just
been massive. Yeah, no, this last half of football is...
You feel like all of Carlton's frailties have been exposed tonight. I mean, a couple of big injuries, season completely unravelled tonight. Cracker. And for Collingwood, well, they can really get going again. That's a good match. Gee, what about old Hudson? And now Swan kicking to the front of the square. I'll give him that. I think he was. Cloak getting hard to Lucas. Well done, Lucas. Over the top to Judd. So 22 disposals for Judd. Back to Lucas. Over to Tui. Now he looks up. He's got Murphy in the pocket. Now he's a good kick, Tui. If he can get the right angle here, he could do some damage. He tries to get the right angle. Goes for the goal. And this is a behind. It would have been some goal. So for Bucks, what a night. You think of Carlton, I mean, coming into the night, I mean, they had 8 top 8 draft picks in this team, 6 top 5s, 5 top 3s. I mean, they're loaded with 1s and 2s and 3s, but we've talked about their lack of depth, and it's shown up tonight.
Margin 67 points then. Kick to the outer side. Witts tracks the footy back. Gibbs tracks him. McLean flicks it over the top. Lucas fends off a would-be tackler. Comes to Carazzo. Carazzo kicks it straight up in the air. A little rusty. No one touched it on the way down. Robinson. Carazzo butters up again. Goes with the outside of the boot. In a three-quarter time. Nathan Buckley making good on his promise in the wake of last week's defeat. A committed Collingwood side. You're going to see that this weekend, he said. Well, on Friday Night Football, you're seeing it firsthand. And so is Michael Malthouse. Collingwood 15-14, 104. Carlton 9-3-57. On Friday night to suggest they are a real finals contender.
You look at the ground level, you've got Arthur who's probably trying to take the Swan match-up. You've got Case, you're trying to make the penalty match. Then you've got Murphy. There's just not much ball getting in there.
47 points the margin after they trailed by 28 late in the first term. Swan again, 32 possessions now. He kicks it out towards the wing. Collingwood in total control. Here's Lucas. He's battled hard. He goes down towards half forward. Henderson on the lead. Marks about 70 metres out. Sends it in the Robinson direction. Mitch up, touched it, didn't control it. Finds it again on the deck. Brilliant. Murphy ran into a dead end and missed the target. Williams gets boots a ball. Bounces wide of ball. Opportunity behind for Tui. Crashing in his cracker. He's over the footy. Maxwell quickly onto the boot. He's adroit at doing that. Kicks it outside the 50. Tracked back by Lucas. Wheels around. Not well directed.
No. As you said, he's had a fair bit of the ball, Lucas. Probably now more than any other Carlton player, but no one for Carlton's really penetrated since that early start of the match. So Maxwell to Shaw. What a player Shaw is. He had just a moment tonight that he would have been disappointed with, but he's played a wonderful game. That wobbly old kick, not so great, and that's off someone's boot. Whose boot is it? Is it Whitson? No, it's Carlton's boot. So all happening for the Pies. We talk about Carlton maybe tumbling down the ladder. Collingwood, with this win tonight, I'm saying their win, they helped their percentage, but they also feel like they're not completely out of top 4. Elliott's kicks a poor one. and cut off by Keisha. But got a pretty good draw, Collingwood. Maybe the sleeping giant's been woken up tonight.
Keisha, the high ball short of the wing. Cruiser goes up and takes a good grab. Close to half forward. No one behind this group, and the last man in that group takes virtually an uncontested mark. Heath Shaw just dropping off the pack. Comes to Young. Hasn't had a lot of the footy, but he's done some good things, impressive things that would have, I'm sure, found favour with the coach. Maxwell played a free kick downfield. Pendlebury, ambitious kick on the half volley to Cloak. Armfield in trouble over the head of Pendlebury. Leading back is Keisha. He left the footy behind. Pendlebury just creeping along behind. Gave it to Ball to Brown. Smothered off the boot by Casbolt. Bounces down towards half-foot. Brilliant gather by Elliott. They stayed off him. Again, pretty ambitious kick. But who better than Cracker? Controlled it magnificently. Hooks it down towards the big guy, Witts. He's tackled from behind by McGuinness. And that was a slow-moving caravan. And it's going to be a free kick, is it? It's going Carlton's way.
So the substitute, Young, first game back, so he's done enough, as Dennis said. Puts the vest on. Carazzo, slow kick, cut off. Williams has been terrific. Carazzo back. Walker, sloppy. Keisha, Walker. It's been a bit panicky, Walker, at times tonight with the pressure on him. Collingwood have picked him out a bit. Well done, Dwyer. Elliott. Elliott looks up and then goes bang, and that's beautiful, and that's good hands. Gee, I tell you what, Witts, it's been a cameo, but it's been a memorable cameo.
He's been impressive tonight. I mean, he's only young fellow, as we know, and Quinton Lynch is out injured. He's been playing as the forward second ruckman, but on the way, on what Witts has done tonight, I don't know whether the rankings might be different at the end of this game than they may have been 7 days ago.
Well, he might kick a third here, Lee. He has been really good. And that's not such a good
good.
Wow.
But when you've got a young guy who's got improvement in him, and you think, well, is he better with it, what we've currently got? Well, then you'll persevere.
14 player in 27, Ben Kennedy.
After seeing that kick, perhaps he should have handballed to Young a moment ago, but that wasn't a bad kick down the other end, but that was a bad one.
It is an eye to the future for Collingwood. They've got two aging ruckmen in Hudson and Jolly, and then you've got Witts and Brodie Grundy, an early pick last year, so got to get games into them, and he's been very good tonight.
McLean.
He thought he rolled you. That's what he thought.
And this ball goes out of bounds. Umpire having a lot to say.
We have another commentator. There's the umpire.
Boundary throw in. Cruiser over the top. Pendlebury. Has there been an umpiring commentator? There's been lots of commentators who have umpired.
John Russo did a bit with us.
Yeah, that's right, he did. Commentators, though. Full-time umpires some nights. Chris Judd. I think back to last Friday, I think I was. Here's Judd coming through the pack. Nicely done. Flicks it forward. Gallup and Yaron converge on the football. Trying to get through there was Carazzo, and he couldn't. And we'll have a ball up.
It was a bit of a sloppy handball by Judd. I mean, he gave them the run, but it made a contest in the end. Hudson again getting over Cruiser. Pendlebury so strong through the hips. Gibbs quiet tonight. Had a good few weeks. Elliott busy. Tim talked about Pendlebury. He's so creative. And now Sinclair gets it from Blair and decides to run and carry and then pop it up. And then coming hard is Reid on the bounce. Walker. Still with Walker. Short, Murphy. I wonder how comfortable Murphy's been in that helmet tonight. Whether, you know, he feels like he's had the right peripheral vision. He's really struggled to find the footy.
Chris Judd, the high ball down towards the 50. Committing to the pack was side bottom. Got a fist on it. Robinson, strong body in that clash. Then cops it up. Oh, well worked as the ball came across from Ball. Thomas gave it to Kennedy, and Kennedy goes short to Reid, who wheels around. Long kick inside the forward 50. Cloak. That was a work in two parts. Firstly, getting rid of the defender, and then taking the mark on his chest. And now the angle will open up to the left footer, whose best performance against these Blues is 4 goals. And right here he's going at his 5th.
Perfect spot for him.
Always had the strength. He knew the ball was 40 metres away, and as long as he had that big bench press, the arms out just too strong for Jamson, just held his position.
And if he kicks this, he'll join Josh Kennedy at the top of the Coleman medal race. Josh Kennedy's got a partner. He puts it through. 5 goals.
Well, we've got a lot of big forwards in the game. There are 5 players, but I know Buddy's very different to this fella, but he's as valuable as anyone, isn't he? I mean, he's such an important key to Collingwood. He's had a great night. I mean, Lee talks about the way they'd set up tonight. He probably needed to kick 5, or they've set up a bit differently. I mean, Reed's been the bonus tonight with his 4, hasn't he? But to think that Cloak and Reed between them have got 9 goals. I mean, it's been a great return by the 2 big guys. He's kicked well most of tonight, hasn't he? I mean, his average is about 53% from set shots, but tonight he's been true. And there's the Coleman medal. As Dennis said, Josh Kennedy with some company at the top. It's been a huge night for Cloak.
Swan emerges with the football, lays it off. Seedsman back to Swan. It's been so impressive tonight. Virtuoso performance. He kicks it down towards half forward. Lots of Carlton players running at the footy. Blair was running fastest though for Collingwood, almost got it. Cruiser got it from Tui, goes back to Gibbs, and now it's Simpson who comes short to Lucas. And Lucas has got it at the interchange gates.
A lot of the balls we said. Gee, you just feel like, how did Carlton recover from a night like tonight? Jamison to Simpson.
Well, this is a side that is bereft of confidence at the moment because they're a long-kicking side, #1 in the competition over the last couple of weeks. To kick to a contested mark, kicking forward, they just don't have that at the moment, therefore just lack the impetus to drive the ball forward with any conviction.
And there's a good example, Tom, a perfect example. And the other thing, Lee, one thing everyone said is that Carlton's been a hard team to score against this year. Well, tonight it's 30 scoring shots and 110 points.
Yeah, no, the defence has been, well, their whole defensive pressure, their whole ground defence hasn't worked terribly well, and certainly their defenders themselves have been beaten by the Carlton forwards.
Gee, Hudson's been good after a slow start. McLean held up.
And you sort of look at it, it's been a bit one-dimensional. They have, in the past couple of weeks, had some really defensive midfielders. And you've got Dygan and Laidler who aren't in the side at the moment. If they were, perhaps Walker could be freed up, perhaps Simpson could be freed up across half-back. It's really exposed their midfield, I think.
Ball hurriedly out of the congestion. Blair, bulldog to the ground. No free kick that time. Hand pass comes across to Swan from Thomas, goes to McCaffer, loops one over the top to Kennedy. He was run down. Simpson applied the tackle for a long time. Tui put Judd under pressure, sliding in his arm field. Oh, that's great pressure from a side that's way in front. Collingwood relentless at Carlton. Every time a Carlton player got the footy, there was a magpie in his face.
Spot on, Dennis. No, it's some good signs here. Garlett, that was clever. Keisha off the step. Keisha had the big job on Pendlebury early. Shaw hardly put a foot wrong tonight. I mean, one juggle. Gee, Swan's it's about as good as I've seen him play for a long time.
He's been terrific, Swan. I mean, he always gets, a lot of the times gets high possession, but he's had 36 disposals, but just won the ball really well and really good with ball in hand as well.
Lee's had 19 contested possessions. His career high is 20.
Yep.
So he's right on. Kicked a full forward by Robinson. Bouncing ball. Garlett just slips through his fingers. McCaffer. Paul kicked that one and an arm field and a boundary throw in. Gee, Garlett and Betts and Yaron, I know I'm picking on them a bit, but Garlett early, a couple of goals. Betts got a bit injured, but
I think there's an element of they're too much alike, the three of them. It's hard to play the three of them in the same forward line at the same time because none of them are midfielders. So you almost got 3 permanent small forwards who can't help out the middle of the ground.
Robinson kicks it forward. Campton in front of the pack. Keisha, he shoots a goal and puts it through. Belated reward.
Well, if that's the case with the 3 small forwards, if they can't all fit in the same team, you've got to look at moving one on, trading one. They've all got cachet, I reckon.
Well, they tried Yaron as a half-back flanker for a couple of years, haven't they?
Yes, and well, that's right, and he did it right there for a while, but Mick Moldhouse decided he didn't want him to play in defence, pushed him into the forward line.
Which one would you trade, Tom?
Yaron.
What do you think with the 3? I mean, do you use them as trade bait at all? I mean,
I think you have to. I don't think they can work consistently well, all 3 of them in the forward line, and they've all got individual market value, I think, and Yaron probably more so than the other two.
So he'd be the one you'd pick. So Swan up to 37. He's closing on 40. 39 season high. 86 times over 30s.
The point about those three small forwards, that's what they are, small forwards. None of them play in the middle of the ground, so it hamstrings you a little bit of your midfield rotation.
Yep. Yeah, different debate if one had the endurance capacity to run through the midfield, but no one's demonstrated that so far.
And Yaron off half-back for a couple of years. Michael Morris, you see him, he doesn't want to do that, does he? So, interesting times. Carazzo's kicked a half-forward. Brown. Oh, look at this. To Pendlebury. Sinclair just went without it. He's had a good night, Sinclair. Armfield coughed it up. Kennedy, the sub. 5th time this season he's been the sub, Kennedy. That's vision by Pendlebury. And Dwyer's been a beauty again tonight.
Beats the man on the mark. Beats the man behind the man on the mark. And comes across the Wits, and now Sinclair. Look at that speed through the midfield. Well done, Cruiser. Didn't give up. Hand pass comes from Elliott. And this equals his career high against Carlton, 38, as he misses to the left-hand side, Dane Swan. It really has been one of his best performances tonight. They needed something, and he has provided it. A real spark. Sometimes acquires 30, you don't notice him. Tonight, so noticeable. Under the bright lights of Friday night football. Brown, his confidence on the rise, gives it to Elliott.
And then over the top, Seedsman very close to running in and kicking the goal, and he does. Does it get much better than this for Collingwood? Thrashing Carlton on a Friday night. Well, it does when you win a premiership, but this is a sweet night.
I'll tell you what, about 15 minutes into the game tonight, Bruce, I don't think they were thinking that, but and the yellow jacket goes on. They've just been wonderful this last 3 quarters or so, and likely to be pretty good the last 10 minutes as well, Collingwood, the way they're going.
Yeah, look, I think they're going to make a statement tonight. And when you think of the reinforcements to come, I mean, they could be very, very interesting second half of the season, Collingwood. Well, they're celebrating everywhere, and they're going in for the kill tonight. They're not going to let Carlton off the leash at all. They're going to hammer them home, but
the crowd's thin, doesn't it? Just Carlton home game.
Many were here at the start of the game, but there's a lot left, and they're probably Carlton, seeing it's Carlton's half. I think all the Collingwood supporters are still here.
They'll stick around.
And do you know what? You wonder how many big matches Carlton will have for the rest of the year after tonight. I mean, this might be the last of the blockbusters for them.
Judd tied up. Casbolt and Wits. Wits, as far as Armfield, sends towards half forward. Made that look easy, sure. Just drifting back, comes out to Elliott. His speed, like a lot of his teammates tonight, has been so important as they've applied the pressure. Wits growing in stature and confidence too as he comes back to his captain. Maxwell drives it inside the forward 50. Cloak at the ball, off his hands, misses it. The wild swing with that left boot. And now it's kicking in danger, and it's going to Cloak. In fact, it's going to ball.
So you heard the umpire indiscriminate. So Maxwell running for ball, and he gets him. So the skipper. He's got Reid running around him. Now where's Cloak? Blair short. They've been marking the ball inside the forward 50. He might be confident to do just that. So he kicks to full forward. Lots of flyers on the up. That was good by Carazzo. To Walker. To Yaron. To Cruiser. Now Murphy. Swings it wide. Lucas, she put him under pressure. Sinclair, McLean. They can't really salvage anything from the wreck tonight, Carlton. Garland, rather Curnow. Short to Murphy. So Murphy running and creating now to full forward. Garland doesn't take a mark. And now Shaw hooking back, hooking back, hooking back. Lucas can't really get an effective handball away. And there's a free kick.
So Lucas at a very sharp angle and some distance out. The man on the mark just inside the 50. Well, she's still reading. But when she's asked about the footy, she'll be able to say it was a good read. And she will be right. Ben going forward was the key to this game. Behind the pack, a chance for Elliott, dragged down. Throwing himself in there, Hudson.
That was
going to be a free kick that's going Carlton's way. So Cruiser with a free. That was the roll into the
I
leg.
always sometimes think, you know, when you go down onto the ball, that's not sliding. Sliding is when you're actually, your body's moving maybe a metre along the ground. That's sliding.
Well, Cruiser kicking from about 10 metres out. Puts it through. He's got 2. But Collingwood have got the 4 points.
I reckon when AFL players are genuinely confused about the rule, as I think they were there, Collingwood, you know, about what you can do and what you can't do, there is a bit of a problem with that rule.
Well, I'd be interested to see when it's looked at, when the umpires people say, yeah, that was the correct interpretation. Sliding. I just thought that was a little bit that Hudson just dived on the football. He didn't slide into the football. He just dived down onto it, and Cruiser came from the other direction with his shins.
So Cruiser gets a second goal after Hudson, a bit confused about that, and I think a few other people as well. So it's a hard one to adjudicate. Certainly, even as broadcasters, it's difficult to know exactly when that one is a free kick. So Thomas has been good. Pendlebury has been superb. And then Swan, little handball didn't go far on the up. Carazzo, Jard. Armstrong has been caught a couple of times tonight. Famously by Young on that wing, wasn't it? Yeah. And now Pendlebury. So, what a player Pendlebury is. Off that step to fall forward. Good-looking kick. Cloak worked underneath. Cracker and Simpson. Simpson wants the boundary line and he gets it. It's a boundary throw-in.
Good set up there by the Collingwood forward line. Cracker, obviously the small forward in the area, just stayed back deep, gave Cloak about a 25-metre paddock to work into, and the kick just not quite on, but the space was certainly there.
Casbolt, first hand to it, finds it on the deck, in trouble though, dragged down as he kicks, affects the kick, ball goes back, gets it 5 metres in from the boundary, lines up and misses narrowly. Doesn't kick a lot of goals, Luke. Wasn't a bad effort. He's up to 22 possessions. He's made a difference since coming back. Jamison out of defence, kicks it outside the defensive 50, and Kerner goes low down and takes the mark on his chest.
It's a good mark. Robinson loads up. Well, clean in the front spot. Shaw just picked it off and did so well to Maxwell. Maxwell running hard. Kicks to full forward. Cloak outnumbered this time. Reid running on to it. He's already got 4. Can't quite toe poke at that time, Reid. Back he goes. Cloak, could he get it? He dropped it down. Good decision. I think he made the attempt. It was incorrect disposal, but anyway, here's Robinson. Off a step. To half-back, Cruiser, good mark. They started so well, Carlton, didn't they? Cruiser and Casbolt were amongst those guys taking marks. That was a long time ago.
Seems like an eternity on what we've seen. Well, no mark, no free kick. As far as McLean was concerned, Hudson, such a willing worker, side bottom, gave it to Brown. Ball goes forward. Seedsman. Well, Kennedy sold into trouble. Ricochets off Judd. Hit hard by Robinson. Taken by Armfield. Goes back to Judd. Well done, Blair, the little fellow. Got in there hard and fast. And took the full brunt of it on both hands and put it out of bounds.
Just thinking about Port Adelaide, Tom. I mean, we saw Sydney last week. We said, they must be a good team, Port Adelaide.
No doubt, they're a good team. Very good team over at Amy Stadium. Don't undersell what they've done this year.
Swan's little toe pokes, his 40th disposal. 12th time he's done that. No other Collingwood players actually had 40 disposals in the last decade, so he's up to a dozen. Maxwell belting the ball forward. Shaw running it towards the line. Arching his back. Clever kick, Shaw. And wins a free kick.
It's an amazing stat. The only Collingwood player to have had 40
in the last decade.
Times.
He's done it 12 times, yeah.
A lot of teams will struggle to have a player that's had 40, though, in all honesty. That is a big number.
It just shows you how prolific he's been to do it a dozen times.
Well, the last non-Dane Swan to do it was Lucuria in that famous final against Port Adelaide, so a long time ago. A couple of Copelands, of course, and speak of the Swan.
Centering kick. Ware fell down. And now Gallett's away. Draws a man to Lucas. Runs outside the 50. Lucas looks down towards right half forward. Ill-directed though. And the kick finds the Collingwood player. Not paid a mark. Seedsman had it bounce off his chest. So Yaron is away. About 45 metres out. Bounces it through for a goal. A real opportunist goal there. Play to the whistle. He did that.
It was, Dennis, you're right. I felt like Seedsman had taken the mark. So Yaron, Betts and Garlick get 4 goals between them tonight. But it's been a little bit inflated in some ways.
But it hasn't been, that hasn't been the worst part of the game for Carlton tonight. They've only had 36 inside 50 entries. So, I mean, this is not a game you can blame the Collingwood forward third, I don't reckon. Their problem, the Carlton's forward third, their problems have been in their midfield and defence.
Yeah. He's skillful, Yaron.
When he's got a chance to run at the open goals, he's a beautiful kick.
Yeah, there's a handball with the left hand. So after winning the clearances early, Carlton have been absolutely slaughtered in the middle now. Elliott just overran it. McGuinness, Tui, Walker. Haven't seen that run and carry tonight, have we? I mean, he's been under pressure for most of the time. And Pendlebury is just accumulating and getting himself over 30 as well. So the Swan, Pendlebury, the 2 keys to their midfield have been fantastic again tonight.
So's Williams. Goes short to Sinclair. Is away. Sinclair goes a long way after the one bounce and sends it down towards full forward. In front, Elliott. And Elliott takes a mark right on the boundary line.
It's a good marking target for a small man, Elliott. A bit like... Oh, that's over the... Oh, it must have juggled.
It's going to be a push in the back as well, doesn't it?
Oh, Jesus, Steph.
Did it touch the ground? I must have missed that, did I?
Unless it was the jump.
Got a feeling he might have paid his juggled it over the line.
Two takes.
Didn't appear to, but still. Matters not. Lucas. Little 1-2 with Murphy. Murphy kicks it up towards the wing.
Curnow battling for it with side bottom. And the ball up.
But in the, I was saying, Jamie Elliott, in the Brad Johnson, Paul Chapman mode for a small man who can take a contested mark inside the forward 50.
Side bottom back. Shaw, Maxwell.
Trouble is with those small blokes who take the good contested mark, they sometimes set themselselves for it too often. I mean, with the height, he's still got to be largely a coming ground level player down there.
Yeah.
When he took the Belmos the mark of the year last week against Port, Post coaches, I don't know if I want him to do that.
Well, what you do is you play a defender who's a larger size and capable in the air, and invariably they outmark their smaller opponents.
So Collingwood waxing it around a bit here. Certainly a role player, McCaffrey. They loved him about 3 years ago, and then he had the injury, missed a whole year and a bit, and he's been able to work his way back. Reid, well, it's going to be fascinating. I mean, where does Reid play for most of the second half of the season? Maxwell's handball. This guy's been good, Dennis.
His toe bruise as he sends it down towards half forward, intended again for Elliott, but Lucas ghosting across in front takes the mark. It's been the speed, not only with the football, but without it, for Collingwood. Lucas up to 33 possessions. That would be a career high. Maxwell to Sinclair, finding so much of the football in this last term. Doesn't stop running. Williams, well, requiring him to run again. He doesn't run too far. He just slubs it back towards Curnow. Curnow gave it to Gibbs, and Gibbs onto the chest of Robinson. I think Sinclair was out on his feet then. That was a tired hand pass without looking. But he would have liked the look of his team. Now, you can see what's coming out for them. And you would say probably 3 of those, with Essendon a question mark.
And the Crows is next Friday night here at the MCG, so big night, particularly if Adelaide beat West Coast tomorrow night.
I guess that means we'll be here as well, Bruce. There goes the kick. Out to the right, it's working back, but not enough. So just over a minute to go for what will be a famous Collingwood victory.
It's a big clash there. And perhaps a victory that really Witts too slow, and Yaron, and Walker was off, and now coming back to Yaron. But maybe a victory for Collingwood that can really launch them in the second half of the season. Their only defeats this year have been by teams that are currently in the 8.
Yeah.
the good teams have beaten them, and you know, I'll put Port Adelaide with those good teams right now because they're playing good football.
Good performance tonight, but really what it's done is just consolidated that. They're now 9-4, aren't they, or 9-5? So that's a good position going into round 15.
They'll be playing in finals football. It's just whether they can position themselves maybe at a crack at the top 4, and Yaron with a hook and misses. So not that percentage, a bit of a worry for top 4, but they've got a pretty good draw, as Dennis said. I mean, their next 4 matches, if they could win all 4 of them, then they could press up towards a double chance.
Tonight was pivotal, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Lose tonight and suddenly they would have been under pressure. But tonight, they've broken away from the shackles. And Shaw goes to the outer side, and a good mark is taken by Reid. And the overlap is Kennedy. Goes down towards half-forward. Dying seconds of the game. Bounce favours Judd.
Worked hard, Judd, but they've just been outnumbered and overpowered. Williams has been terrific. Murphy getting a little bit of it late to Judd. And then Judd kicking to centre half forward, and Wicks cuts it off. What a night for Collingwood. All sorts of questions. Swan start. It's like a fork in the road, really. They got to a point they could go either one way or the other. And Collingwood have gone north tonight, and Carlton have gone south in a big way. Huge wins. In all sorts of ways. Mascots everywhere, eh? He was tonight, no question. None better than Swan. Craig was great. Pendlebury, their whole team. Tough night for Judd. They had plenty of the ball, Juddy, but they were overwhelmed. Tim's making his way out there, and I think he's going to track down a bloke who had a night to remember, Tim. I mean, a dozen times he's had 40, including tonight.
Well, Swanee, congratulations on your performance.